Hey there everyone, it's Richie here. Now I'm a big fan of creating good quality photos, especially portrait type, where you can focus in on a subject and make them stand out. Of course, to do that properly, you need something like this, a DSLR with a good lens, in this case a 50mm fixed lens. But the latest batch of smartphones have been coming out with features to help you recreate the same kind of effect, and they all have their own unique way of helping you achieve the image you want. So let's do a quick comparison in what I call the battle of the blur. Okay, so along with these props right here, the three phones I've chosen are the HTC One M8, the Galaxy S5 and the Nexus 5. So let's use the HTC One first. Now the technology behind the blur here is called the duo camera and U-focus feature. So there's one camera that actually takes the shot and another that is a depth sensor, and that helps fill the image with information about what is foreground and what is background. Now the cool thing about the HTC is that the info is grabbed by default. There's no setting that you need to apply. Now once you've taken the picture, you go to the edit menu, select U-focus, and the software can apply a blur to the pixels that are registered as background while keeping the foreground in focus. And the reverse can be applied as well. I like the HTC version because you can take some pretty spontaneous shots and choose to apply the U-focus effect afterwards. And the software is very fast as well. You'll get the blur applied and rendered pretty much instantly. HTC have done a pretty good job with this effect. Next up is the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, the way the S5 gets the blur going is by taking a few shots rapidly, each at different focus points, and then combining those shots to give you an image which you can then use to select your focus highlights. Now, selective focus isn't the default shooting mode, so you need to switch to it, and you have to be less than half a meter away from the object or person you want to snap, and the background needs to be about 1.5 meters away. Now, once you take the pic, you then go to the edit icon on the image itself, and then select one of three modes: near focus, which blurs the background; far focus, which blurs the object in front; and pan focus, which puts everything in focus like one of the light show camera effects. Now the resolution of the camera at 16 megapixels also provides great clarity. Then we have the Nexus 5, and I've chosen to demo this relatively older smartphone because its camera software has been updated to the latest version of Google Camera, which is an app available in the Google Play Store, but is also native to the Nexus 5. Now the technology driving this blur is again quite different. Here, to take a shot, you slide in from the left and select the lens blur option. Now you press the shoot icon and you'll be instructed to move the camera up while staying centered on the foreground object. The phone software then uses an algorithm developed by Google scientists to determine the distance of each pixel based on the movement as seen by the camera. So again, you need to be in a planned shot so you can move your camera with the composition reasonably still, and then you edit the shot. Now one thing I did notice right away was that it takes quite a while for the software to develop the initial working image. What you do have though afterwards is the ability to change the range of blur from only slightly out of focus to a background that is indecipherable, something that comes closest to a DSLR. You can also save your images to gallery and then go back to the original shot via the camera slide-in to edit another version. So, which is best for portrait style or creative photos? The HTC certainly has the best system with the duo camera setup. The S5 blur feature is fairly restricted and limited in how you can use it in real life situations, and the Google camera is quite a novelty, but again it requires a patient setup, good light and a steady hand. Plus you can take blurred background selfies. Now, none of these methods are as effective as using a bona fide DSLR, but with smartphones packing everything in blur-based pictures, we're never going to be far. Now, none of these smartphones are perfect, and remember, the phone software is merely manipulating pixels after the fact, so it's still a simulated depth of field effect based on the info it's taking from the environment. So that's the battle of the blur. Let me know what you think in the comments area below. Throw a thumbs up my way if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more segments on technology, product demos, and a bit of tomfoolery in between. Until next time.